Let's begin.
Here we go! Hi, everybody!
Let's start the insanity.
You are not worried, are you?
Me? No.
Well, we're waiting.
Hello and welcome to Super Media All-Stars. We are a weekly podcast, and tonight we are talking about movies. I'm your host, John Harris. I am joined by two other All-Stars. The first one being Jake Boston.
Oh, I'm waking up. I'm on an airplane. A raptor? What is this? Why are you on the airplane?
Alan! Alan!
And Brent Harris.
I just had
boys.
to get that first part in there.
Worst part was, if you can't see, obviously, because you're listening, Brent was dancing to that in some kind of, I don't know, Tokyo Drift fashion.
He's in love with it.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah, it's very catchy. You just want to shake your body, John.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you're just nodding your head. That's the shaking you're doing.
Yeah. We got a great episode for you tonight. We're going to be reviewing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We saw this opening premiere night on Thursday. Now we're entering its opening weekend. But before we dive into things, guys, you've had a week to check out anything new on the movie or TV scene?
Well, my most recent one I watched yesterday, and that was The Muppets.
Jason
Segel. Yep.
How was that one?
Came out in 2011. Have either of you seen that movie?
No.
Well, it's really good. I gave it 4 out of 5.
Is that Amy Adams too?
Yep.
Yeah, doing their stick.
Donald Glover has a cameo.
Really?
Devil Wears Prada, not the assistant lady, not Anne Hathaway, but the other one,
Oh,
Emily
really?
Blunt.
Yeah.
She plays like that character in this movie.
Wow. Interesting.
Because Miss Piggy, instead of the Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep,
Yeah.
it's Miss Piggy.
Oh,
Yeah.
how clever of them.
It's very good. There's a whole bunch of clever stuff in this movie. And then I also went to the theater besides Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this, but the heist hound was sniffing.
Gotta
And yeah,
caught the scent.
Yep, I caught a good heist scent. Whenever there's one in theaters, I got to go see it. Even though I missed, I saw Hurricane Heist, missed Den of Thieves, so I went to theaters and saw Ocean's 8.
Okay.
Mhm. I went to see this with Kevin, and I wanted this movie to be so much better.
Oh, really? What wasn't up there for you?
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing, just because like it was kind of predictable. There was no bad guy. The script was not that great. Like the heist out of everything wasn't that interesting,
That sucks.
which really sucks. And I feel like the director, Gary Ross, he directed the Hunger Games and Seabiscuit and some of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He just threw in flair to throw it in. Like it just felt like filler for the movie. He tried to throw in style over substance. And that shit sucks.
I bet.
It left me with a bad taste in my mouth. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I really liked the cast.
All right. So what did I watch? I rewatched Arrival.
And
It was still good.
Yeah, so holds up.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 3.5 or 4.
is Arrival better or worse than Annihilation?
Way better.
I would not say way better.
Even compared.
That was like one of my top movies of 2016. I think it came out. My favorite movies that year.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. It still holds up.
Yeah, and you love Blade Runner 2049. You just want to jizz all over this director, bud.
And Annihilation. I know it's a different director,
It
but
is, yeah.
just sci-fi stuff. I love it.
You know what Denis Villeneuve's directing next? It's one of your lady's favorite movies, I think. One of her favorite properties, I guess.
It's not Star Trek.
It's not, but it's sci-fi.
What is it?
Dune!
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he's breaking it up into 2 movies.
I think he can pull it off.
Yeah, but 2049 didn't make any money. I don't think Dune's going to make any money.
It's an older series that people really don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's going to be sketchy, but him doing it should be fun.
We know he'll have awesome imagery. At least.
Yeah, because every one of his movies has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other movie I watched was 13 Hours. It's actually a pretty solid movie. I mean,
Yeah?
I'm actually an action military junkie, but
Yeah, you are.
this one's actually pretty good. It's 2.5 hours long, surprisingly.
Did
Yeah.
it feel long?
Not really. I mean, it was kind of a slow burn. Not really slow. It was kind of throughout the movie. But
I guess the question I should ask is, did it feel like Michael Bay directed it?
no, I had no idea he directed it. Like
Really?
the action afterwards made sense. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's Michael Bay.
Okay.
But like the dialogue and not action parts was pretty solid.
That's good. I'm really hoping he gets away from Transformers and just does original stuff
Yeah,
again.
he should, because this is actually a good movie.
Yeah. He's a very good director when he wants to be.
Stop doing Transformers, man.
Yeah.
Can't say things are any better on my end. I've other than rewatching the first Jurassic World in preparation for tonight.
Ugh. Are you the only one who did that?
I think so.
I kind of did.
Yeah, when he was watching it, you're like, oh, yeah, that.
There's
Oh,
that.
yeah, I remember that, I guess. I hear
Oh, yeah,
things.
okay, the final fight. Okay. I'm back.
What were you playing while they were watching this?
Probably.
I was playing Stain World Dig 2,
Oh, nice.
and I think I had something going.
Okay, so you just kind of heard things going on while he was watching Jurassic World.
If anything,
Yeah, I think I was watching a Twitch stream, actually, and I would pause it when I want to watch the movie,
Sure.
and then I'd go back and watch
Sure.
this during the boring parts.
Otherwise, I am on season 9 of Seinfeld. I am almost done with my Seinfeld rewatch. George,
You know, watching that again is not actually that funny.
What?
Seinfeld?
Get the fuck out of here.
Brent, you giggled all the time during the show.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
It's not that funny.
And you quote it all the time when we watch it.
I do.
Did Danielle watch all of these with you too?
Yeah.
And you're already up to season 9.
Yeah.
How many episodes do you watch a day?
Usually when I...
Well, he watches 1, falls asleep to 2, and then he watches the same goddamn 2 episodes that I watched because he fell asleep.
For him, he's seen them 10 times already. For
Yeah.
Danielle, is she literally watching every single episode?
Yeah, she's going through it all.
Yeah?
And she picks up where... Like, I pick up where she left off usually.
That's impressive because I would probably watch 1 to 2 episodes a night for like 4 nights out of the week, and I still took me a long time to get to season 8 where I dropped off. Some episodes are stinkers, but the majority of them are so fucking fantastic.
Reverse that and you got it.
No, that's impossible.
Most people hate season 9, but season 9 gave us Festivus, which is one of the main things people take away from Seinfeld.
Yeah, like a quote Festivus, but I don't think it's like comedy gold.
It's one of the most things it's one of the most quotable things from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. We get it.
Yeah.
In season 9, wasn't that when Kramer went up to the roof and like started tanning with butter?
Butter.
That was good.
The only there's a funny part in that episode, and that's where he gets like garlic and parsley on him, and then Newman's like googly-eyed over him.
Yeah,
wanting
he
to
like
eat him.
mirages him
Yeah.
into a turkey.
Stick a fork in me, Jerry.
Good shit.
I'm done.
Oh, and speaking of Newman, he's in Jurassic Park.
Yay.
Oh, segue.
All right, guys, let's jump into the next portion of our show. And that's going to be, we all saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This first part will be spoiler-free. So check your time marks. We'll have a spoiler-free section, spoilers, and our 5-star review. Also spoiler-free coming up shortly. But before we jump into some hardcore stuff, what are you guys' first general thoughts leaving the movie?
Well, all 3 of us saw this together.
Yep.
So we kind of, after credits started rolling, we just kind of looked around and we kind of saw what we thought of it. At first, I looked to Brent. You said, and I quote, "I fucking hated it." And
Yep.
you looked at me with a stone cold, just no expression on your face. Just like, I fucking hated it.
Yeah, I was actually pretty pissed.
Yeah, and then what'd I do?
I laughed, and he said you loved it.
Yeah, I just had like a stupid Grinch smile come over my face.
I could tell it too. He was like, as soon as he started smiling, like, you fucking liked it, didn't you? God damn it, I hate you.
So you guys are pretty passionate about your feelings.
Yeah, I like this movie way more than I thought I would because this movie is getting not good reviews. It's getting like a 50% Rotten Tomatoes,
Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
which kind of makes me. I would rather see a movie that's getting 50% because that means half of them love it, half of them hate it,
Right.
which is good. And I thought I was going to be on the hate it side because Jurassic World is a piece of garbage.
The first one.
I hate Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So I was just expecting more of the same in this. And different stuff happens, just to keep it non-spoilery. And I was kind of, I wouldn't say impressed and I wouldn't say shocked. I was intrigued as to where it went.
See,
I did not expect it going there.
Like Jurassic World, except for the kids. I hate everything about the kids. Mm-hmm. Except for the scene where they're in the gyrosphere and that thing fights that, like, iron tank dinosaur.
Oh, so you like the Jimmy Fallon part? You love it.
But everything besides the kids in Jurassic World I thought was great. This one, oh, God. It's like they took the worst things about Jurassic World Park 2 and 3, put it together in one movie, and then sprinkled better budget CGI on top.
This is like a combination between The Lost World and 3.
It's so bad.
I didn't think of it at the time, but just thinking about it today, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They took a lot of this and this and just put it into one movie.
Right?
So I left the movie theater thinking that, like, this feels like a very stereotypical summer flick. Great action, great CGI, but it wasn't enough of what I was hoping for. I loved the first Jurassic World. One of my favorite movies that came out 2015.
What would you rate that movie, John?
I give Jurassic World a 4 out of 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Barf.
So this movie kind of verges away from what we know from the Jurassic Park / World series, and I don't not really feel great about where it's going right now. Things that we know from the trailer that would be spoiler free. Obviously, you know from the trailers that a volcano erupts, the dinosaurs are forced to flee the island, and there's some kind of rescue effort that Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard are all involved with. We had Chris Pratt back as Owen Grady. Do you guys like this character?
No.
No?
I don't like his character, but I like Chris Pratt.
Yeah?
I like Chris Pratt, and I liked him in Jurassic World. I don't like him in this movie.
See, he's
movie's
the
so
exact same person.
Yeah, but the movie's so bad, like, he doesn't get a chance to do anything. He's just, like, almost a plot hole filler.
He gets to, like, do something in the third act that we never knew he had a talent for.
Okay, but honestly, in the first act, too, did they really need him? In the whole movie, did they really need him?
He raised Blue. He's got to come back.
I'm making the jerking motion here.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a Spielberg protagonist, Chris Pratt fills this role and has his own charm to it. I will argue that compared to, what's his name, Sam Neill, you mentioned the other day,
Yeah.
from Jurassic Park 1, who's very much...
3.
And 3.
Yeah.
And he's very stale.
In 1, he's good. In 3, he literally just acts like he's getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
It's
very much
horrible.
so.
Like, that's a subplot in the movie.
There's a different approach to Owen Grady's character in this one. So much different than money is involved, but we'll get into that later. We have Bryce Dallas Howard returning as Claire Dearing, I think was what her name was.
Who cares? She's the worst. I hate Bryce Dallas Howard in these. I hate her as an actress in general. I really hate her in this.
Really?
I don't like her at all. She brings nothing to the table for
She's
me.
not very good.
I would say she's better in this movie just because in Jurassic World, she drove me very nuts with just how controlling she was, how she had to constantly wear high heels, even though it was stupid to.
Yeah.
I would say in this, she takes a little bit more control, but still, like, she's an animal lover all of a sudden.
Like definitely a change of character.
Yeah, like a 180. Like, I get how you can be sort of remorseful as to, like, what you did in Jurassic World.
But
Right.
in 1, she's literally, like, the worst person for the role she's in.
Yeah.
I thought she was okay.
The decisions she makes?
Oh, the character decision she makes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
Just
yeah,
freaking awful. Well, that and her acting, too. It's not great.
I don't like it.
No?
No.
I don't like her, really.
Well, I guess we'll leave that alone then. We have Rafe Spall as kind of this main guy who hires Owen Grady and Claire to pretty much rescue the dinosaurs. And that kind of prompts this whole movie into some other plots later. His character was, I guess we'll save for spoilers, but he was okay. For me, he was.
He's just fine. I've never seen this guy before, so it's kind of...
Boy, he looked really familiar, though.
I have never seen this guy before.
He's
No.
just there.
This
He's exactly... That's exactly right. He's just there.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of this extended cast, because a lot of them were just there. I did not care for him. Like, Justice Smith.
No, get to him, because he's the worst.
Yeah,
He's my least favorite thing in this movie.
Is he like the tech guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Franklin Webb, as a former IT technician.
He didn't even need to be in the movie.
I hate... Well, he did, because he's the tech guy, so he can unlock things on the
Right,
island.
but anybody else could have just done that.
Well, he
But-
was our comedy relief, and he did not hit any comedy tones for me.
No, like him screeching in a high-pitched voice got on my nerves so fast, and like he's a germaphobe, he's scared of everything.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. This trope is played out already. He gets a little better towards the end, but not by much.
It's because he goes away for most of the second half.
Yeah, and like, I'll leave it to spoilers, but yeah, there's a reason why he goes away, and then when he comes back, I really wish he didn't come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had some other characters like this Dr. Zia Rodriguez, who is ends up being like a kind of dino vet on the movie. She's okay. Another person who's just there.
I liked her though. I would say out of all of the new additions, I liked her probably like one or two of the most.
Really?
Honestly,
Yeah.
she was probably the best actress under Chris Pratt.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot to do in this script, but when she was on there, I'm like, oh hey, I believe her. I hope she comes back for the sequel.
Yeah, honestly, it probably goes Chris Pratt, this chick, and then the kid.
Yeah, who's the kid, John?
Isabel Sermon as Maisie.
She was surprisingly good. I thought I was gonna hate her when I first saw her.
There's a kid in Jurassic Park movie. Go figure. So
I'm shocked, John.
Yeah, exactly. One more actor we could talk about from the trailers was Jeff Goldblum returning as Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Oh,
He's
okay.
there for one reason.
I'm gonna give you a spoiler before the spoiler section.
Oh boy.
Everything you've seen in the trailer is everything that's in the movie.
Pretty much.
It's sad.
It feels like a afterthought to the overall movie.
No, it feels like he's collecting a paycheck for 4 hours worth of work. Dr. Ian Malcolm is one of the best characters that Jurassic Park has made. And him in this movie is just kind of a sacrilege. Like, he literally has nothing to do.
I think you're forgetting Samuel L. Jackson's character in the first movie.
No, I would rank Newman over Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true, but like, hold on to your butts.
I think I would rate William H. Macy and his delicious mustache over Samuel L. Jackson and his like little pencil mustache.
But the amazing like cigarette smoking that he does.
Yeah, which is not in any movies anymore.
Right.
So that was nice. That was a nice added touch.
There's not too many other actually characters we can talk about while being spoiler free, but I kind of want to talk about this movie took a verge for me as far as direction from we had Colin Trevorrow as the first director, and you're gonna remind me who was the director on this one.
J.A. Baronis.
Which I'm just gonna throw out there as far as cinematography goes. There's some really cool scenes and some shots in this movie that were not remotely even tried in Jurassic World.
There's two movies that J.A. Baronis has done that are pretty much like not copy and paste, but are strongly taken from this movie. He directed The Orphanage, which I'm not going to tell you what happened until spoilers, and then there's A Monster Calls, which is very much just like a boy and his like best friend.
Right.
And that part is it's a good chunk of this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think those scenes would have worked as well if it was like still an island setting, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because we're avoiding a certain subject here. But some of the shots he takes were very artistic for a Jurassic Park World movie.
Yeah,
And
and
it
I
fit.
liked it quite a bit. Like, I know Colin Trevorrow is already on for Jurassic Park 6 or whatever the fuck it's going to be called.
Yeah.
And I'm already dreading that because Jurassic World, one of the reasons why I hated it so much is because it just felt so fucking boring and factory made.
Yeah.
And there was no originality to it whatsoever. This just felt like a wannabe Spielberg in Jurassic World with Colin Trevorrow.
Sure.
And I hated that.
So
Like,
what does this one feel for you now? Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom with Baronis and what you're saying, he made some certain shots that surprised the fuck out of me. Like this is in the trailer when the fucking gyrosphere goes in the water.
Yeah.
Everything in the water was amazing because it was a one shot.
Yeah.
And that was just so cinematically done and you were trapped inside the gyrosphere with them. It
Yeah.
was so fucking cool. And then there's this was in the trailer too, with all the lava and that dinosaur going out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
That looked fucking cool.
It looked really cool.
There's a lot of shots like with like dark composition and just adding to light that I really liked. And again, in the fucking trailer, the trailer's the worst part of this fucking movie for me because it ruined a lot of good shit.
It did, but also kept a lot of the third act very quiet.
Yeah, and the bedroom scene looked fucking stupid in the trailer.
Yeah.
But it worked in this movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I actually didn't know where that was going to go or where
Yeah.
that was coming from.
Yeah.
Then once we got there, I'm like, okay, I like how we got here.
I did too, and I think that's another reason why I'm giving this movie some credit because like a lot of things from I think the second trailer that played that I thought like, oh, this is just fucking stupid. They actually made work in the movie, and I was surprised by that.
I think it goes without saying the animation looks great. For the most part, like if you've seen from the trailers, the volcano scene looks great. I think it looked great on the big screen.
The best part of this movie by far was like the animatronics that they had. Like there was one with Blue where it was like real like robotic parts.
Yeah.
And then there was one with the T-Rex. Those two were like some of my favorite like scenes in this movie.
Sure.
Because you can, just like with the original Jurassic Park, like remember when you could actually see it was a physical T-Rex that like when you shined a light in his eye, the iris like moved?
Right.
That looked fucking awesome. There's some parts in this movie that do that same thing with real, actual, like, puppet movements.
Right.
Some CGI I don't think is going to hold up, just like for all other Jurassic Park movies. If you wait 10 years and go rewatch them, they look like garbage.
Putting animation aside, one last thing I want to talk about before we go to spoiler section is the music. The music really fell flat for me with this one because at least Jurassic World attempted to throw some Jurassic Park themes in there. This one kind of let all of that go. It was some subtle hints of it in the music from John Williams, but not much else new was
3-second clips
of like those
of
themes.
throwback.
And I'm not saying, I mean, for me, I like those themes, but maybe I'm asking you guys, just putting those themes aside, disappoint you, or does it?
I think what you just said is disappointing.
Just because it's in the Jurassic Park universe doesn't mean it needs to play the exact same notes that those movies do. Like if this had originality that stuck out, I'd be okay with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it
I
did
can't-
something different, but
Yeah.
incorporated some of the themes.
It doesn't even need to incorporate anything. If it just did something different that was memorable, I would be okay with that.
Sure.
I don't remember fucking any
No.
music in this movie. It just sounded like generic.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard some Jurassic World from the first movie themes, and I heard the Jurassic Park themes. But other than that,
they get sprinkled in just to be like, oh, remember?
exactly.
And yeah, that shit's so just weak to me. Like, don't do that just to play to my memories. I hate that type
And
of
that's
shit.
exactly what the music just does barely here.
It does, yeah.
So, all right, guys. That being said, let's jump into the spoiler portion of our show.
Spoiler. Spoiler. Alan.
All right, guys, you have been warned. We're now entering the spoiler section. I'm going to actually just jump into the thing we've been avoiding the whole episode so far, and that is pretty much the mansion from the third act.
Fuck yes.
So that one, like, I knew there's going to be some kind of captivity, but in a mansion? That threw me off.
Can you play that one sound effect that did?
The
when after you said mansion?
what, the Pac-Man dying?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but Brent, you were against it?
I was okay with the first part. Second part was boring. I was like, okay, it's on a ship. And I'm like, oh, great. They're putting them all in cages. Oh, okay. We're going to a mansion. And this is stupid.
I think the second act is so slow.
Wow.
Getting to the excitement of the mansion, the third act, took a while.
So,
But once it got to the third act, I loved everything about the mansion, just because it's something different.
the only thing I remember from the second act is them drawing blood from the T-Rex. That is it. Rest of it's just garbage.
Remember how they started the second act? Or I guess the ending of the first, however you want to think about it.
Also garbage.
The Stegosaurus dying?
Yeah, it was
Like
way
with the
drawn
lava,
out.
They were pulling at your heartstrings as hard
If
as
they-
they could.
the Bronchiosaurus.
The
and the
Bronchiosaurus,
lava.
yeah,
Sorry, yeah. Bronchiosaurus.
Oh, man.
If they had left it where you just disappears into smoke, all right.
They were
But
on
then-
that for like 20 to
Right.
30 seconds.
And then it keeps going where you can see it where the lava's like exploding again
and
and
fucking everybody from the ship is going to go watch this dinosaur die?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The exact same thing happened in Jurassic World, but the Bronchiosaurus was killed by the Indominus Rex. And remember, Chris Pratt holds the head in his hands as it passes away. That same species is always dying because apparently it's like a main symbol for this series.
Yeah, and that's what I fucking hate. This is what I was talking about earlier.
The Bronchiosaurus.
Like, in the first movie, it's such an iconic moment when the first dinosaur they see is the Bronchiosaurus.
I think it would have been sadder instead of doing that scene or kept that scene but shortened it, was putting when the gyrosphere goes into the water, like actual dinosaurs drowning, like falling down.
They did kind of show that.
They cut away from it pretty
Kinda,
quickly.
but you can-
They didn't.
you can-
They didn't literally show them going down into the depths.
You
but
kind of see Triceratops like starting to float.
yeah,
They cut away from it pretty quickly.
Oh, they didn't show any fake dinosaur CGI animals dying.
Yep.
God forbid.
Let's get back to the auction. Then the third act.
Oh, the auction's horrible. The auction is very cringeworthy.
It is.
$20 million.
Because they're betting on what ends up being like the species that they saved from the island. And they're selling them off as some kind of military / independent gang industries.
Yeah, the examples they gave, like, oh, we used elephants in war during, like, World War I. I'm like, I don't think we fucking use animals anymore, bud.
80 years ago.
Yeah. Like, you're giving examples that are 80, 100 years old.
And they're like the thing the Indominus Rex kills in the Jurassic World, they bring it out and they're like talking about how it's armored and it makes a great tank. Like,
No, it doesn't.
anything could just blow through that.
Yeah.
You tip it over and it's done.
Good old Toby Jones as the auctioneer.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe he's in this movie.
I know.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere and played his creepy German role.
He was pretty good in this, though. I didn't mind him in this.
It wasn't in it very long, but he got his due.
Yeah.
Do you also notice that the trapper guy, the main like hunter, is so much like the hunter in the second one?
In the third one.
Short shorts, balding.
And the fourth
Old.
one.
Yeah. Basically, military or hunter type don't really end up well for Jurassic Park. They always play some kind of antagonist role and always fall flat. It just seems, like I said, we're going to talk about this later, but a trope.
I mean, this guy is a fucking dick, and the only reason why he dies is because he likes to collect teeth.
Yeah.
Like, his death was so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I think what's worse is the creature that they're building up, which is in this some kind of raptor. I forget what the term they use is.
See, I thought the Indominus Rex was worse than this
Oh,
one.
really? I thought this raptor was way worse.
I thought the way he was designed was pretty stupid. It's like, oh, black and orange. Let's just put that DNA in him so he looks evil.
You thought the laser thing was cool.
I thought the laser thing at least had a purpose. I'm not saying it was the greatest thing known to man.
God.
So hang on.
And I'm saying the way that he died, like the way that they killed him, was stupid.
See, I could at least get behind in like the jellyfish and the frogs and the Indominus Rex, whereas camouflaging.
Yeah,
and
FYI, folks, we're having a dinosaur talk here,
thermal
so
stuff.
bear with us.
But
Fuck
then they're
me.
like, okay, so we're adding this so that it can follow laser beams and attach things to laser beams to its freaking head.
Why would you put camouflage on a fucking dinosaur that you're showing at an amusement park? That's stupid.
They didn't know it could camouflage.
It got.
Why don't you know this? You're a fucking scientist. Why would you add this shit in them anyway?
I'm just saying, I could get into that way
At
more.
least this, its specific purpose was to bring into war and fucking kill people.
But the thing
And
with,
you have like a control. Sorry, you have a control mechanism on him. Where like, hey, point a laser, kill the guy.
like,
That at least makes some more sense than the Indominus Rex.
they did a lot of building up to it, like how it has these features from Blue and from the Dominus and from T-Rex. But the only thing we really get to see that makes it any special was its intelligence and its willingness to follow a laser. There was nothing else really special about it.
And he only followed a laser twice in this movie.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, he's smart.
And the only time
That's
we
all it was.
And the only thing we really saw from intelligence was him tricking the hunter, like with a dino fake feint. And he was like, look, the dinosaur was smiling.
Yeah, it was like some Looney Tunes bullshit.
Yeah, that was really weird. I didn't
and like, why that needed to drag on so long?
And
I
wh-
need to fake about.
Yeah.
I need to fake again. Okay, now I'm gonna get him.
And why were that dinosaur's teeth like super hard to get out compared to any
I don't
other
know.
dinosaur? It didn't.
It was
bring
super
that up,
healthy.
I guess.
Yeah, the third act also brought B.D. Wong back as the mad scientist creating these things, and he has the same pitch where he's doing it for science and because of what you guys are wanting, but he's still pretty much a bad guy, right? Would you guys argue that?
Yeah.
He's just doing his only goal in life is to make like the perfect specimen, but of course the bad guys keep taking things too early.
That's how he gets paid, John. Like that's what he went to college for.
make
That's what he has a
dinosaurs.
degree in. He's like, he has a passion for dinosaur making. And the only people that want to make dinosaurs are bad people. So what's a guy to do?
Another thing part of the third act was Blue once again saving the day with Chris Pratt.
Did he?
Did the whole Blue storyline work for you guys?
It felt very forced.
Yeah, it did.
Because I don't remember Blue having that good a storyline in Jurassic World.
They teased a connection, but not like fleshed out to this degree in this movie. Like a whole Blue has the emotional like attachment to Chris, and then it having empathy and all this other feelings that were not remotely explored in the first one. They pull in for this one.
Yep.
I think it's like I don't know, kind of a stretch, as far
Uh,
as first one to second one.
Not to mention the final fight, you don't even see.
It's very dark.
It's Chris Pratt and a girl
Running,
side scraping on a building, running away. You don't even see Blue fight it.
yeah,
All you see is like split seconds of it, and then it's outside.
because we're led to believe that the blue is smarter than this genetically altered creature.
For some reason.
Yeah. Comparing fights real quick, I actually really liked the Indominus Rex and T-Rex fight at the end
Yeah.
of Jurassic World. Like,
That was amazing.
No.
that was a big old dino fight, and I loved it.
I
Whatever.
creamed my panties when the blue jumps on the back of the T-Rex. I'm like, they're working together. Oh god.
That part was okay, but they pretty much did the same thing in this movie with the T-Rex and then that other fucking dinosaur that was going to kill him by the gyroscope. Except condensed into like 90 seconds.
Plus the Musclesaurus coming out of the water. Like I never saw that coming
In Jurassic World,
in Jurassic World.
the first one.
The fish whale thing coming up and grabbing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I never
Well,
saw it coming.
I think the only comparison to that is what you said, Jake, and then like a miniature version with the two velociraptors. Like their rooftop fight, and then it falling to its death and getting stabbed by the bones.
Impaled.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Blue like strategically gets himself in the middle of the horns.
Right.
Be like, yeah, you're dead, and then I jump off, and then of course I'm gonna do a victory scream. All these fucking dinosaurs do victory screams. I don't get it at all. Like when the T-Rex killed that other dinosaur, he was just roaring
didn't
with
even
the
kill it.
volcano.
Because then they end
Oh,
up
right.
capturing it.
He's like, I stopped you from doing things. Roar!
It felt so forced in this movie.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to bear with me. They introduced an element in this movie compared to easily to the Lost World, and we'll be making some Lost World comparisons here. This one played upon like an animal preservation act.
I thought you were going somewhere else with this.
No, not yet.
Like the first act of this movie was my least favorite.
Like them having an organization to save dinosaurs, they even debate it.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Not even the first act, just like the first 15 minutes.
Nope, first act.
All of the
everything
island.
on the island I did not like because it reminded me of Jurassic World and it just reminded me of shit that they've done time after time. Oh my god. But the first 10 to 15 minutes didn't help because it was so boring, average, just like, "Oh yeah, hey, we're this PETA organization for dinosaurs."
I'm not sure if they're trying to say something by that. With
They
that.
are, but they're not smart enough to say anything good. They're probably saying that they're trying to help these helpless creatures just like PETA does.
Right.
Just like tons of organizations do.
It's double-edged sword because we're led to believe they're doing it to preserve the dinosaurs, but it ends up being Lockwood's second-hand man ends up lying to him in order to sell him for money.
Yeah, and I didn't see that coming. I will say that. Like when Chris Pratt was going towards that guy and the guy shot him with a tranq dart.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
Really? I feel like something was going to go bad.
Yeah, no, I did too, but I didn't expect him to shoot him.
Oh, sure. It's kind of weird that they threw in this Lockwood guy as once again, a billionaire who worked with Hammond back in the day.
Yep, that's randomly found in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they really wanted to use Hammond, but they couldn't.
Right.
So they had to make up this other person.
So the resolution to this whole animal protection thing leads up to this final scene, which we'll get into this in a little bit because I know you guys want to. This girl releases the dinosaurs onto the world, and it kind of fulfills the plot point of these dinosaurs deserve freedom and not to die.
They deserve to die.
Yeah, it's definitely one perspective, but
It's the right perspective.
what's weird is going back to that plot point. It comes from a girl we find out who is genetically cloned.
Don't look at me that way, Brent.
Where did that come from?
Came out of a horrible script that should have been cut. It isn't, but I'm guessing she'll definitely have a good part in the third movie.
I'm so confused as why that was introduced. To a degree that her most plot point that's filled out for her is that somehow she connects to these animals and wants to set them free. Maybe into her own version where she wants set free from this mansion. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know where they're going with it. What bothers me the most is it definitely going to lead into the third movie. But that's like an answer you need to start with right now.
Well, no, because at the third movie, like the last 5 minutes of this, there are briefcases with DNA just randomly in there. It's just a whole stupid cloning.
Yeah, it's just that stupid.
Barf.
Well, since we're there, what do you guys think of where this whole all the dinosaurs are set free and we're led to believe that the Fallen Kingdom, the way I perceived it was the Fallen Kingdom is going to be either us, the Earth, because the dinosaurs are let loose on the world, and Ian Malcolm's final line is, "We have set our own stage here with us being the lesser species now because dinosaurs are taking over.
I hate that.
What's the last line, John? Welcome to Jurassic
That's
World.
it. Yeah.
So fucking lame.
I hate when movies are so bad and they're clearly just there to build up for the next movie. Like, this movie is garbage. And all it does is feel like a 2-hour setup for the third one.
I love how Bryce Dallas Howard's decision to press or not press the button literally meant nothing because there were already dinosaurs outside.
Yeah.
You letting 20 more is not going to do anything.
Especially because we had the flying creatures and the giant shark thing already in the water.
I wanted so much more of that giant shark thing.
Yeah,
What's the
like
word for it?
It's like Mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus. I wanted so much more of it because it was really cool at the very beginning where in
the
the
end,
thunderstorm.
where it's chasing them in the surf.
Yeah.
The wave.
They literally showed that amount of time in the trailer. I thought there was going to at least I thought that scene was going to put the Meg to shame. I wanted so much more because when I saw that in the trailer, I was fucking pumped. I'm like, oh, I didn't think this was going to happen. This is fucking awesome.
Nope.
Nope, nothing. Just like, oh yeah, they're everywhere. Watch out, dinosaurs.
Yeah. As far as third act goes, there were some definitely cool elements within the mansion as far as cinematography goes, because Jake, you kind of alluded to it earlier, that this guy has experience like shooting dark scenes and working with the ambiance, which kind of happens in this mansion.
Yeah, the orphanage, the main connecting point is that like it's in one main building and it's a spooky building.
And they kind of get to that with the mansion a little bit because there's some lights out with some dinosaurs and some spooky scenes. Mm-hmm. It works well, but all these elements leading up through the mansion just lead up to bad plot points and final conclusions.
I got way too many bad memories from the girl trying to close the dumbwaiter door.
Yeah.
From the first one where the girl's trying to shut the mirror.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's like the exact
God,
same thing.
they brought that back from the first one too. Fuck me.
Yep.
I did.
Okay, so that part, is that dumbwaiter door like made of adamantium?
Yeah, she couldn't
because
pull
he just
it down
drives
to save her
his
life.
head into it, and
Oh.
she's just fine.
That too.
Like, what?
Yeah. I thought it was just made of wood.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Can I get back to her pressing the button?
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard was going to kill all of them, and then this fucking clone person's like, I can't, they're like me.
Right. And then Chris Pratt didn't wanted her to let them die.
Yeah.
It's for the best because he agrees.
Yeah. This whole PETA subplot doesn't really, like, what does it prove? What does it do? Because the main person of this organization, the one that can, like, tell anybody to do anything, persuade people, in the end, she's like, yeah, let's kill him.
Yeah.
Like, the main person of this PETA thing is like, yeah, who needs dinosaurs? It's just weird.
I mentioned this in the theater, but I kind of wanted to ask you guys now. For me, I got like a vibe of Planet of the Apes, or maybe it was the second one. Basically, the Planet of the Apes trope where you're led to believe that monkeys are getting ready to take over the world, and this one definitely ends with, are dinos going to take over the world?
That excites me for the next movie.
I don't know.
Because every other time you go to one isolated island, and now that island is the United States, if not the entire world. Because at the very end, you see this giant Mosasaurus, or what the fuck he's called? Mosasaurus in the ocean waves. You see, after the end of the credits, you see all these pterodactyls?
Pterodactyls or something?
Okay, you see pterodactyls in Las Vegas on top of the pyramid, which is fucking cool.
Which is after the credits.
Yeah.
Which makes me believe they're definitely heading that direction.
Yeah, which makes me excited to see the next one. Because I feel like they have to do something different.
Well, the title of like Jurassic World, if that's literally where they're getting to, that'd be cool. That might be something different.
Jurassic Earth.
The one thing I was telling Jake is like, but the problem is most of those things can't procreate. Because there's only one of them.
Didn't Jurassic Park 1 or 2 have the theme like nature finds a way?
Oh, yeah.
But that's the thing. They have DNA to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And so far with every movie, Jurassic Park 1 through 3 and Jurassic World 1 and 2, there's always a briefcase or something that makes it off the island.
But what are they going to do? To start cloning more dinosaurs and then just setting them loose, killing people?
Well, hopefully... Well, I don't know if they keep pushing the military agenda, because that's all they've been doing so far.
This felt very ham-fisted from the first one.
Yeah.
Like, the first one brought this up, and there was no real good way to bring it back until they're like, oh, yeah, hey, we're selling this dinosaur that can laser track things. Yeah, that's military-based, right?
Honestly, I think the next one I would like if it's like 50 to 100 years later, and it's like post-apocalyptic with dinosaurs.
Old man Chris Pratt?
Yeah, I would love that, but that's never going to happen.
No,
but I would fucking love it.
It's definitely possible. If they want to keep this series going, they could wrap up this trilogy and save another one for Jurassic Earth.
If they ended the third one with like every human dying or the majority of them dying and just having dinosaurs rule the Earth, and then the next trilogy is pretty much like a post-apocalyptic trilogy, that would be awesome.
I'd be okay with that. That sounds awesome.
That sounds really good. But I feel like they're not going to do that. No. I feel like they have to end this series happy because Jurassic World is such a popcorn flick. It's such a good time. And this movie is not a good time, and it's getting panned from half the critics.
I think one of the problems with this movie, too, is, and actually Danielle said it, the lack of blood, lack of gore. Like, it's nowhere to be found. Like, I'm not saying Jurassic World had a ton, but there's one particular scene.
Jurassic Park did.
Well, yeah, but so did Jurassic World.
Jurassic World had a lot of blood splatters.
Like, you see 6 of those, or whatever bronciosauruses are all dead in that field.
Yeah.
You see the tank dinosaur die.
You see the main military guy's head chomped and blood squirts over the tank.
Yeah. And then the
but this one
Indominosaurus picks up the guy and like just splatters them all over the leaves, and then it falls onto the camera.
Mm-hmm. And this one, the most we get is the hunter getting his arm caught in the jaws, but there's no blood.
No blood, and you don't even see his arm.
Yeah,
it's just in his mouth.
That's pretty weak.
They're both PG-13, so why not flex it a little bit?
Nope.
I went with Brent on that one.
Most blood you see is when the blue squirts in that kid's face.
Or the bag of blood.
Or the bag of blood.
Probably the bag of blood in this movie.
So we've actually already hit on most of these throughout the whole episode, but I just want to ask you guys, you can just give me a yes or no. Mm-hmm. Do they still work? And that's going to be the Jurassic Park tropes. We always have a grounded protagonist, whether it be Sam Neill as the archaeologist, and then we have Owen Brady here as the kind of the grounded, mindseted protagonist.
Yeah, I love Chris Pratt as that character.
Okay.
I feel like a grounded protagonist can work in the majority of movies you put him in.
Another classic trope is we always have a rich sponsor. First one was Hammond in the Park series, and then we had the one Indian gentleman from the first Jurassic World, and then we have Lockwood. There's always a rich sponsor who's sponsoring these events. So
that's the other thing. Why do they have to keep relating it back to Hammond? Why does everything have to keep going back to him?
Because he's the one who created the dinosaurs.
I know, but why can't it just be a rich guy? Like, if it's going to be a rich person, why can't it just be a regular rich person? It's like, I want more money, or I want more dinosaurs.
In this one, especially if they wanted to use Hammond and he died, they should have been able to be like, enough time has passed with Jurassic Park and the reopening of world to where like a rich person could have a hobby of doing research on dinosaurs. They didn't have to like specifically map it back to where like, oh yeah, Hammond had this partner, and this partner was with him, but you've never seen him before, and now he's here, and he's going to die in this movie, so it doesn't matter if you know him or not.
And he clones people.
Well,
the end.
It didn't like the Jurassic World had a character named like Morsani, I think was the Indian guy's name.
Yeah, and he dies.
He was,
so who cares?
He was connected to Hammond, and then Lockwood connected to Hammond.
That's what I'm saying,
and he dies. Military characters. Overused, I think. I don't think that works anymore.
Yeah, they're like this in every movie, though.
But like the first one had like a hunter who was also ex-military, who was a mercenary. You guys remember that when he gets eaten by the velociraptors, and he has that iconic line like,
"Yeah, but he's actually a good guy, and I actually like that guy."
I'm just saying that trope or that military character can be done right, but everyone since the Jurassic Park has had an evil mercenary or evil military sense.
Yeah,
and I kind of want that to go away. I don't think that works anymore.
See, I liked it in the first one because he's like a really nice guy, actually, and he's just a hunter. He's just
clever girl is what he says.
Yeah, because it's he thinks he's hunting the velociraptor. It's actually her hunting him.
Yeah.
And the second one, it's the same type of thing. It's the guy. He's a hunter thing, but he's actually. I hated that guy, like because they do a good job with him.
Yeah. Brent, you talked about this earlier. Another trope is kids in Jurassic World / Park.
So bad. So bad.
I thought they were getting away from it here, and they don't. I mean, we obviously have the one girl come into this later, but
this is the best one with the kid.
Yeah, I would say this is probably has the best kid from all the sequels.
Yeah,
for sure. That's easy.
Yep.
What's funny is that Jurassic World 3 really pushed we should be a rated R film, and they obviously got away from that. But it was like a huge marketing ploy back in the day, and this Jurassic World could have got away with it if they would have played it up more. But I think for the sake of Spielberg and money, they're going to make this PG-13 always.
See, I don't know. I thought Jurassic World was pushing it for PG-13.
No.
Well, not pushing it, but like with the blood.
Yeah, there's enough.
And that horrible scene where that girl gets drug off by the pterodactyl into
That
the
was
mosasaurus.
amazing. That was amazing.
That's cringy. Like,
Yeah.
ooh,
yeah.
dang.
And I alluded to this earlier, but I really miss the Jurassic World park, and that's obviously one of the main themes throughout these movies, that they always go back to the park, always go back to the island in some sense.
Yeah.
But I felt like this one in particular, after the first act, really just you forget about the park.
Well, the Jurassic World park had a lot of cool concepts to it. In my opinion, it just wasn't like played out that well, I guess. I don't know.
In the first movie?
Yeah. Or no, the fourth movie.
Oh, yeah,
Jurassic
World, sure.
Yeah. This one, I didn't miss the park at all, really.
What was funny was when we go back to the Jurassic World park in Fallen Kingdom, the vegetation's grown like in 3 years. It's been like 50 years later on this
See,
island.
you guys had a big gripe for that, but like honestly, if you remember the park, it was very besides where the buildings and the sidewalks were,
Yeah,
it was very like forested and vegetative.
yeah.
So what was there in 3 years doesn't surprise me because I'm sure that actually needed a lot of.
That was a
upkeep.
nitpick, but I just thought it was kind of funny to see how decayed it's been in 3 years.
Why didn't we go back to Margaritaville? I wanted to see all that with a whole bunch of moss on it. Yeah. That would have been good.
So that actually kind of leads into our next portion. That is going to be our favorite scenes and least favorite scenes. And I want to kick it off with my favorite scenes. It's actually the very first scene in the film. Was in the water.
What?
I loved seeing that giant, what do you call it?
Mosasaurus
tease in the water again. Just the shadow of him, and then them being back on the island with the heavy rain.
Yeah, I actually really like that in these movies for some reason. Just the dark, heavy rain. No one knows what's going on for some reason.
That scene was okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it too.
And just how, like, of course, the humans are going to make a mistake, and the gate gets open, and then that creature slips into the ocean.
Yeah, well, I liked it so much because it goes from like a lot of suspension to just a flip of a switch where the Mosasaurus is there and the T-Rex is there.
Yeah.
Like it just goes bipolar. It just completely flips.
Remember when the T-Rex is on that little ladder and then he tears some of the ladder off and they think they're going to get away, and then the Mosasaurus jumps up like he did in the first movie.
Classic Jurassic Park world.
Classic Mosasaurus.
I was okay with that guy dying. Oh, Mossy.
He's back. I did like how they referenced the Indominus Rex. First thing that, like...
Oh, I hated that.
Oh, really? Right from the get-go?
Indominus Rex is so bad. Like, they go back to the island just so they can grab his tooth or claw, whatever the fuck it is.
At least it wasn't like I was afraid it was going to be like the Dinosaur of the Week with this movie again, where they have... Well, it kind of was, because they had another genetically altered dinosaur.
They do. And I don't know why they needed the Indominus Rex, like, DNA or the claw for this new dinosaur. They didn't really go into that.
Yeah, I did like how they... The aspect I appreciate was they acknowledged the Indominus Rex and what it stood for, but also like we had the T-Rex who had all the scars from fighting the Indominus Rex. Like at least some of that elements bled over into some of the plot here.
We completely skipped something. One major thing that is so stupid that they decided to add in. The whole reason they needed blue was so that it could be a mother
Oh.
to the next one that they were going to make.
Yeah. There's a reason we skipped that. It was pretty bad.
That was dumb.
Huh.
We also skipped something else that I wanted to talk about, but it never came in organically.
Let's make these our least favorite scenes.
Yeah.
You guys are not liking them. So Brent, you hated the...
I hated that, and I also hated who the fuck keeps hydrogen cyanide in a fucking lab. Oh, cyanide's okay.
Scientists need it.
It has uses besides killing stuff. It doesn't. Well, it might does, but who keeps a whole freaking thing of it?
That's killing all the dinosaurs.
Ah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
I would say my least favorite scene was the Brontosaurus, whatever, the tall dinosaur.
Yeah.
Bronchiosaurus.
Yeah.
Dying on the dock.
No. That
No?
part was okay.
Oh,
Just
the
the introduction.
the introduction.
Yeah, that they've used in 3 other movies.
Yeah.
That's probably my least favorite because it was played out, and the only reason why they did it in this movie is so when they bring it back with the death of that dinosaur, it should like hit your heartstrings more.
Yeah.
Like they used that as an emotional pull, and it didn't work for me whatsoever.
It would have worked if it only been one shot and that was it. But they kept, like you said, cutting back.
Then the last shot sticks on there for like 15 to 30 seconds. It's a long fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah.
My other best scene is what we said earlier with the lava and the dinosaur coming out of the tube.
Okay.
Oh, like the
That scene was-
suspense of it coming.
Yeah, but even that's kind of
Short-lived.
trampled on by that stupid actor.
Well, I like the Chris Pratt Looney Tune thing to where he's like all drugged and trying to get away from the lava by rolling very
Oh,
slowly.
yeah.
I liked that. That was fine. That
It was
fun.
stupid.
It was stupid, but it was fun.
I was like,
What about
I think in real lava, your skin incinerates at like 20 feet from it.
yeah, this isn't fucking real lava.
I know, but
what about the whole? Did the scene actually work for you guys where they're running down away from the volcano?
No.
That scene work for you?
to the
Not at
valley.
all.
Just like escaping from the
Run!
volcano. Why does T-Rex keep feeling the need to prove himself by taking on every creature?
He
who-
shouldn't. The T-Rex is so played out now. To me, it is. Like, it's the most popular dinosaur by far.
It's just not doing it justice.
Well, this
Yeah.
one, I was gonna say this one's not doing it justice. At least in the first Jurassic World, he had a moment to shine. This one, they feel like they forced the moments in. Any of the least favorite scenes? Because I feel like you guys had some in your pocket.
Least favorite scenes. The whole fight scene with the raptor. Everything about that. Stupid.
The final fight.
Yeah. It's just non-existent. And then it's on top of a window, and you don't know what's going to happen except you do.
Yeah,
Because
you do.
obviously it's going to fall at some point. Like, oh, it doesn't happen. And then it does. Oh, he's impaled. He's dead.
I had way more favorite scenes than least favorite scenes in this movie.
That's okay. Let's hear him.
I had the gyroscope in the water, the one shot.
Yeah.
That was so fucking cool. I had the other like T-Rex scene where they're getting blood from him. I just liked the practical effects and that it felt kind of real to me.
Yeah.
And I also liked in these movies to where like they bring a new dinosaur into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And that little like hard head dinosaur like
Oh,
breaking
yeah.
out of the walls and like everything that had to do with that little dinosaur I liked a lot because he was cute as fuck.
And then he just tramples the whole auction.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like
Yeah.
this little cute dinosaur that Chris Pratt can just
Yeah.
like manipulate will kill dozens of people.
That feels very Chris Pratt, where he's like, "Hey, buddy, I got one more thing for you."
Yeah. that was cool. That's the one
Yeah.
thing that didn't come up organically that I really wanted to talk about.
Sure. Once the auction went to hell, then things really got going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. That being said, let's jump into the review portion of our show. And before we really go hardcore into things, let's just go into some opening numbers for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It opened to 15 million Thursday opening night numbers.
Oh yeah.
It's projected to make between I think 130 and maybe tops is what they're looking at.
This weekend?
Yeah,
No shit.
I think that's what they're projecting at this point.
Do you have numbers for what Jurassic World made opening weekend?
It's almost 200.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's
That's a big drop
Yeah.
for a sequel.
if that's what happens.
Usually sequels go the other way and make more than the original.
Right. This one is competing against a tougher crowd with The Incredibles 2 still on a high momentum train.
That's true.
And there's some other movies out there still competing for it, but Jurassic World has its work cut out for the weekend. In comparison, Incredibles 2 came out last weekend with 18 million, so that being a box office record.
God, our theater was packed.
Yeah, ours
that we
was
went to.
packed.
That's-
Yeah.
That surprised me.
That's one thing we forgot to say. When we walked in, there were. I don't think I've ever seen that many people in line for snacks.
There were close to 100 people in line just to buy concessions.
Well,
was
yeah,
crazy.
it made a giant horseshoe around the whole lobby, and
Yeah.
it was probably 3 or 4 people wide.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It's crazy.
I'm glad I bought my ticket and snuck my snacks in
Yeah,
because I didn't want to wait in that shit.
yeah.
All right, it's not really a fair comparison, but Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom opens at 15 million. Jurassic World, the first one, didn't have a Thursday night opening; it had a Friday, and it pulled in 80 million. So we'll have to see how these numbers come
Good
past.
God.
Yeah, Thursday night openings are more of like a new thing that happened in the past like 2-3 years.
Yeah. But that being said, before we jump into some reviews, let's put our predictions. What we think this movie is going to open to without going over Price is Right rules.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I feel like this movie is going to do better than what it's projected to do. I feel like this movie's going to make like all of its money first weekend because people are only going to see this movie once.
Yeah.
Jurassic World was such a phenomenon because people did repeat viewings because they liked it so much. It brought back memories of the first one.
Sure.
This one's so different, it's not going to happen. I am predicting 138.
138?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
What? 141. You fuck. 141.
What'd you put?
I put 143.
You bastards! I'm the low one?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, hang on, recap real quick. What'd you put, Jake?
138.
And Brent, what'd you put?
141.
And I put 143. This is bad.
I'm so fucked.
This might be the worst prediction ever we have made.
Well, no, Brent has a $2 million window.
John cheated. I put 143.
Because I honestly believe that this will be pretty close to what they're predicting. With the competition that we have going on right now.
I almost put 150 just because I feel like first weekend's going to do really fucking good. And then the next weekend, no, not the next weekend. When Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, it'll have a giant drop off.
Yeah.
But The second weekend, I don't know.
I'll have to wait and see,
Because the biggest movie coming out that weekend is Sicario 2.
which won't hurt it that much.
I don't think so either.
It won't.
Because this movie's very divisive.
Yeah, that's
And
what.
Jurassic Park movies usually don't do that.
We'll talk about divisive. Let's talk about the reviews that have been coming out for these movies, or for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
All right.
Let's start with Rotten Tomatoes. It is sitting at a 50% exactly on Rotten Tomatoes,
That makes all the sense in the world.
but the audience score coming up to 63.
That's good.
Yeah, so people are a little making more than critics, which is to be expected.
It's
But
a
with-
little high.
Well, here, let me ask your thoughts on this. The original Jurassic World was at 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score was 78. So people definitely liked the first one way better, which I think I could see that being a pretty common thing among this movie. But we'll see. Numbers will tell us. Metacritic, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is sitting at 51. Also almost right in the middle.
Half of them like it, half of them don't.
Yep.
I'm
Use a
telling you.
score 5.9, almost identical to Rotten Tomatoes.
I like a divisive movie.
That's what it is, but closer to on the Metacritic side than Rotten Tomatoes. Jurassic World, the first one was 59 on Metacritic.
The first one?
Yeah,
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic
World.
World.
Oh.
Jurassic Park's probably at like 95%.
Yeah, it's cherished. Now, if you just real quick, if you're paying attention to what we said earlier, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom had a budget of 170 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jurassic World, the first
Fucking
one,
Jesus.
had
Does that
100.
include marketing?
No.
but it's just production budget.
Oh my god.
The first movie had 150 million. But
This
here's
is going to tank so bad.
hang on. But what's also interesting is
Well,
so we have
overall,
15 million for Fallen Kingdom opening day, Thursday.
Yeah, this movie has already made its money back overseas. It's
Yeah.
made $350 million overseas already.
Yeah, freaking.
So they're fine.
Most updated number for your foreign, 466
What?
million.
Holy God.
It's already made. Foreign.
Wow.
So it's definitely already made its money back.
Yeah, this movie came out 2 weeks before it came here.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's because of the World Cup. I think it's the only reason why it came out early.
Sure, I can see that.
But yeah.
I don't get it.
Dinosaurs, they carry across seas.
Transformers and
whatever.
dinosaurs and Pacific Rim. Like the three things.
And Godzilla.
Godira.
Oh, yeah. Or Boss, Summer.
Box office summer showdown.
Half of our, 90% of our people guessed this movie was going to be number one this summer.
I know I did.
I'm already screwed because I put Solo, so I'm losing number one.
You put Solo at number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it had this at number 2.
See, I'm really nervous because I think Incredibles 2 is going to be number 1.
I think it will. I think it
Did you
already
put
is.
number one?
No, I put Jurassic
I
World.
didn't understand why none of them. No one. I suppose, especially Anthony.
Anthony was really kicking himself.
Anthony always puts like the animated thing
I think
first.
Kevin was the only one who put Incredibles 2 as number 1.
Oh, Kevin did?
I think he
I don't
did.
think he did either.
I don't think he did either.
I'm
No?
pretty sure he has Jurassic World. I'm almost positive.
All
And then
right.
Incredibles.
All
too.
right.
I don't think anybody put Incredibles at number 1.
The stakes are increasing, folks. Follow us up with that on our box office Summer Slam.
Summer Showdown.
Oh boy,
Summer Slam. You fucking garbage.
I was
man.
thinking wrestling.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, let's jump into our 5-star review for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. And Brent, just because I just know you're so passionate about this movie, I want you to kick it off.
How bad was it? This is actually really hard. It was just so bad. I don't know which bad review to give it. It was barely watchable. I don't know. The story was just wasn't where I thought it was gonna go. It was boring, and I remember multiple times throughout the movie I was caught myself being bored. God, there's just so much. A lot of scenes I didn't like. A lot of the acting I didn't like. I don't know. And then the whole mansion thing just drove me crazy. It's borderline 1.5.
Do whatever your heart tells you to do, Brent.
Do gut.
I'll do 2.
2.5.
No, fuck you. 2.
Oh,
Jesus.
You sure you don't want to do 2.5, Brent?
if you're not 2.5.
No.
All right, so Brent comes in with 2.5, which is actually higher than.
just 2.
Oh yeah, 2.
Idiot. God. All right, 2. So Brent comes in at 2.5. He thought it was watchable.
All right, so Jake, Brent is feeling 2 stars with this one, which is below average.
Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely below average.
Jake, what are you feeling?
I was coming in here at 3.5 out of 5. because it was it was really fun for me. Like, I didn't think hardly anything about this movie.
I think you loved it so much because I hated it so much.
I like the left turn that it did quite a bit. This franchise, I kind of relate to the Fast and Furious franchise because it's just dumb fun. Like, a lot of shit you don't need to do research about. This stuff is just popcorn flick, just throw it in your mouth and enjoy what you're watching.
I would agree with that.
Sure.
So yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5.
Well, okay.
I'm doing it. I'm sticking to my guns. Fuck you.
That's exactly what I was doing. 3.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be the highest one.
Oh, no. I think this movie has lots of problems, but overall, is it a fun flick? Absolutely. Are you going to see this movie for the dino animation and adventure? For sure. It's a fun ride. If you're going to do like we did, pick apart some plots that didn't make sense, some things we didn't like, yeah, you're going to find your problems, but left me excited for where they go next.
Yeah. I love how they dip their toe into a different genre in this movie.
Yeah.
Because all of the other sequels are pretty much like playing in the same playground as what Jurassic Park was. And this one is like a fucking monster movie.
Yeah. And
it's cool. I like it.
And this one gave me huge Lost World vibes, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but this one I think pulls it off better than The Lost World ever did.
Yeah.
But just like The Lost World, it has some really cool scenes and things that really worked, but overall wasn't the best thing, but it works. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
I will say I read Kevin's review on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
And he gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
He said it was very middle of the road. He liked some of the turns that they did, but the acting was horrible.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
For a summer action flick, this acting could be.
Okay, I will say this. I told you I'm not going to buy Solo on Steelbook.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this on Steelbook.
Yeah?
I think it's going to be a fun rewatch.
I think so too. I think it'd be fun to watch these movies in succession.
Solo made me mad that it even existed. This movie, it's fun. It's a fun ride. Fuck it. I like this movie.
But I asked these guys to real quick rank the Jurassic Park / World series for you, and let's go from worst to best.
Okay. Last place is Jurassic Park 3, tied with Jurassic World, 2.5 out of 5. I would say 3 is the worst, and then Jurassic World.
Okay.
And then
Let's let him finish.
Then it's going to be The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and that's going to be a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Second place is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 3.5 out of 5. And finishing off number 1, of course, with Jurassic Park, 4 out of 5.
I'm pretty close. I had Jurassic 3 at the bottom. I think that movie is almost horrible to watch, so I gave that a 2. Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World next. It has its elements, but overall I think it's just kind of a bore of a movie in comparison. Probably the next one moving up would be probably this one, Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, then Jurassic World, and then Jurassic Park.
What would you rate Jurassic Park? How many stars?
I think it's comparable to Jurassic World, so 4 out of 5 for me.
Oh, wow. You think they are on par?
I think Jurassic World and Jurassic Park are just updated versions. I think Jurassic World is an updated version of Jurassic Park.
Wow.
But I think they both work so well.
Okay.
I think I line up almost the same as you. 3 is just not great. I like the main dinosaur, the Spinosaurus or whatever it's called. I almost want to put The Lost World above Fallen Kingdom because I hate Fallen Kingdom so much, but it's got a better kid and better CGI. So that's what takes it over the Lost World. So Lost World, Fallen Kingdom. Honestly, I think I'm going to go Jurassic Park then Jurassic World.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Just did it.
I don't take your word for shit, Brent. Oh, my dear God.
There's different things in Jurassic World than from Jurassic Park that I liked.
That's fair.
And I like Chris Pratt so much more than I did
Sam Neill.
the original 2.
Sure. So there you have it, folks. There is our individual ratings of the Jurassic series. There actually is a lot of common ground there, just some things switched around. All right, guys, that being said, let's jump into the final portion of our show. And that is Brent back in the trivia seat. Brent, what do you got in store for us tonight?
This trivia I call...
You didn't say the magic word.
Yay.
Got some dino trivia for you, boys.
How's this gonna work?
Dinosaur trivia?
Dinosaur trivia.
Oh, John won. I know nothing about dinosaurs.
It's about the movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 7 questions. I need you to write down an answer for each question. And then Price is Right rules, so whoever gets the closest without going over wins the round.
Okay.
All right,
All right? We ready?
let's do it.
Question number 1. How many living, non-human, non-dinosaur animals die in the first 4 movies? This is excluding Fallen Kingdom.
All right, got it.
Got it?
Yep.
Who wants to go first?
I'll kick it off.
Just show me at the same time.
127.
5.
127?
There's a lot of fish and birds and insects.
Well, 127 and 5 are both incorrect. The answer was 4.
What?
So we both went over.
There was a goat and a cow in the first one. A goat for the T-Rex, a cow for the Velociraptors.
Okay.
There's a dog in the second one. Once the T-Rex gets to New York, and there's a goat in the fourth one that's fed to the T-Rex.
127.
4.
Whoops.
I'm pissed I missed it by 1.
Yeah.
You missed it by over 100.
Yup.
Sure
well,
did.
Price is Right rules,
Oh,
bitch.
No points for either of us. Fuck me.
Hopefully, we could do a little better with this one. How many humans die in the 4 movies?
Oh, God.
I got mine.
I
I got mine.
All right, Jake, you kicked off this time.
hope that wasn't too much.
Yeah, I had it at 13, but I raised it by 10. I'm going to do 23.
Okay.
I had 20.
20 and 23?
Yeah.
It is 51.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yep. I wish I had my numbers, but it was like 18 and 2, 20 some in 4,
Sure.
and then just a few in 1 and 3.
Yeah, I think only like 3 people died in 3. I don't remember 1.
So that means Jake takes the first point
Jake takes the first point.
on question 2.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. How many total creatures die, humans, dinosaurs, and animals, in the 4 movies?
We got 2
So
of
we,
those answers.
we already know 4, and we already know 50 some.
Yeah,
So now it's just dinosaurs added to that?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
I got mine.
I got mine.
Got it?
Yeah.
Good.
I went low. I went 60.
Okay.
I went 61 because I thought he'd go 60.
Oh my God. It is 70.
Damn it, Jake. Your Price is Right bastard.
Because I was going to go 60 myself, but I'm like, I think John's going to go around there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 61.
Well done.
All right, so Jake's got 2 points.
All right. All right. Question 4. Jake's got 2. John's got 0.
Womp.
How many different animal sounds is the T-Rex's roar made from?
All right, got mine. Jake?
Got it? Got it? How many?
I think it's 5, but I'm going with 3.
John?
I did 6.
It is 5.
Damn it.
It is dog, penguin, tiger, alligator, and elephant.
Damn.
Wow.
Cool. I'm running away with this.
All right, John, you got to get all 3 of
These
these.
are barely dino questions.
Oh, God.
Barely.
All right, question number 5. How many different species of dinosaurs do we actually see in the 4 films? Actually see on film, on screen.
Huh.
Have a random guess.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah.
Show them. What'd you put?
13 species.
I was going to do a baker's dozen, but I didn't think it was that many, so I did 10.
It is 19.
Ooh. So I got my first point.
Got your first point. Now to piggyback that question,
You need to get the next 2,
Yeah.
the last 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
to
Jake
compete.
at 3 and John at 1,
Yeah.
corresponding with the previous question, how many total species of dinosaurs are shown / referenced in all 4 films?
Fuck.
Between holographics, maps.
I think,
All right.
I think I went over here.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see them.
I did 33.
I did 24.
Fuck. You're right, John.
Oh my God. It is 36.
Oh, damn. So with that, Jake takes it. So what was the name of that game, Brent?
You didn't say the magic password.
/ Jurassic Statistics.
You didn't say the magic word.
All right, that being said, it's been episode 48 of Super Media All-Stars. You can find us on all kinds social media. The first one being Facebook, Super Media All-Stars. Please like and subscribe there. You can find us on Twitter at SmashPod. You can find us on Instagram at Super Media All-Stars.
Yep. Find me on Instagram at Steelbook Obsessed. And I think sometime next week we should have another unboxing video up.
Yeah, you picked up some cool stuff.
Yeah, we have like a little Super Mario Brothers bundle that we kind of got.
Yeah, they look really sweet.
Looked kind of fun.
So open those up.
And what, next week on the podcast, I think we're going to do Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Yeah.
Sicario 2.
Yeah.
That should be fun. The first movie was pretty damn good, so.
I still need to watch it before then.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Ooh,
you're in for a treat, bud.
Yeah, I hope so. Checking us out on all kinds of podcast services. Check us out on iTunes and Apple Podcast Service. Check us out on Google Play. Check us out on Stitcher. Check us out on iHeartRadio. Basically, anywhere you listen to a podcast, you can find us now these days. But that being said, guys, I thank you for joining me on this Jurassic episode. Audience, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Alan.
Game over, man. Game over.
Bye-bye.
I am out of here.